Are you wondering what's acceptable today in terms of online meeting etiquette, in terms of camera use or dress code, or just how you want to be most effective online as most of us are working remotely from home offices? Well, today I'm going to talk about two major areas that I considered, I know many others consider, when it comes to ensuring that you're getting the maximum amount of performance and engagement from your online experience. My name is Milan Patel, and in the 30 years I spent working my way to senior level in a Fortune 100 company. I've been working fully remote since COVID, but even before that, I had teams international that I worked with all the time through camera remotely. So the first thing we want to talk about is camera usage. On or off is the first question that many people ask. And what I would say there, it's really a sign of respect, I think, to have it on. And I know people will debate this. But let's talk about it from an engagement perspective. When you're in the office, like you have to go into the office like many of us did before COVID, you couldn't shut your face off in a meeting, right? Like you would look at somebody in the eye, you would pay attention, you would raise your hand, and you had that personal engagement where you each could see each other's body language, facial expressions, and that's an important part of building trust and building engagement with someone. And while it's harder to do it, via camera, it can still be done. And many people have gotten a lot better or even really good at engaging that way. So the first rule of thumb really is, do you want people to know that you're paying attention? Let's be clear. It would bug the crap out of me, and still does when I'm in a personal meeting, as I know it bugged you as well. When you're sitting in a meeting, you're talking about a subject, you're probably presenting something, and somebody's sitting with their hands on their keyboard typing away emails, not even paying attention, right? You could at least see that. Do people even know you're in the room when your camera's off and you're in a meeting? I can tell you there are times when I've caught people who probably weren't, because I ask them a question, and it takes an inordinate amount of time for them to come off mute and actually answer the question. But again, they may have been in the room and been fumbling for the mute button, but they don't know that, they can't see it, and the question will come to mind. So the one other thing I want to talk about with cameras are those avatars that are coming out. I've had a couple of really deep conversations on that in the last couple of weeks since Zoom released them. I think they're on Teams as well, where you can turn on that cutesy little cartoonish version of you that then will speak for you and be your camera representation. I don't like them personally. I think they're distracting. They don't really follow the right facial or mouth movements. And if the most senior person in the room isn't using it, I don't know why I would as well. I would never use that with my skip level. There might be a time and place for it in a team meeting. You're having an icebreaker, you're having a little fun. But when you get to the meeting, it goes back to the rule number one about what kind of engagement do you want to have with the people on the call. I think it's an important topic to think about as we have all these new technologies about what some people might think is cute and funny, others think are distracting and not very professional. So again, you need to think about really what is your audience, who's in the audience, is this something that would be acceptable at the time in order to use? I've seen an overuse of that where some people leave it on for the whole meeting. I personally don't like it, but others might be a fun thing for them. So I would just say you got to be prepared for what other people may think about it. Now, the second controversial topic, I'm sure you all know, is dress code. Hey, we're all working from home. We want to be comfortable. This is the new world. I can wear a hoodie. If Zuckerberg can wear a hoodie, why not? Well, the general rule of thumb I use there is my home office here, to me, is no different than my work office in an actual office in terms of how I engage or what my dress code is. I don't know why I would think it would be different. Like, for example, though, I've had comments about me wearing a shirt and jacket on these videos, but that's what I wear when I'm doing these talks. Like when I do them in the office for larger groups of people, I'm usually dressed like this. So why would I change that? Sure, I used to go in on the weekends when I had to go into the office, and I wouldn't go in and wear this. I would wear but I dress way down. But would I wear pajama pants, t-shirts, and not shave on a Wednesday afternoon just because I was home when I had meetings with either other senior people or external partners? Heck no. And so you want to be conscious that many of us really, and actually most senior people, will consider their home offices now an extension of their physical office in terms of expectations for the workday. And I'm not saying you have to dress in a coat and tie, even though I have done that on Zoom calls with customers who were quite surprised. It all really depends on what you want your personal persona to be and how you want that engagement to be. I want the same respect that I'm giving generally, and I think most people do. So it's just a few ways to think about, the camera usage and the dress code usage. And again, there's no right or wrong answers to any of this. I mean, people will continue to say you don't have to turn your camera on, or you don't have to dress up at all to be working from home, that it doesn't matter. But if you think about your personal brand, which is a whole separate topic, if you think about how professional you want people to think you are in your job in all environments, then you might want to consider, thinking about how you want to engage these new tools today as we all are engaging from our home working offices. If this has been useful to you, please give it a like and subscribe, or send it to someone who could use it. And I hope you have a great day.